Hello, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to be bringing you year 2 of reading some of my friends' favorite books from the previous year. For the most part, this is the same group of people that I read their favorite books from last year, and essentially we all give each other a list of our favorite books from the year, and then we kind of pick and choose from those lists to each read one of their picks. So most of these people will also be reading one of my favorite books from 2021, so I hope you will tune in for their videos. I will have 2 vlogs for this year because I believe there's 7 people. So this first one will have 3 and the second one will have 4. I will make sure and link all of these creators down below, but without further ado, here's the vlog. Okay, so it is December 3rd right now, and I have started my first book for this vlog. And I'm reading these solely just on like what's available to me first, or like at the time. So I did decide to start with Nessa's pick from Books with Nessa. I think she's changed all of her handles and stuff, but she'll be linked correctly down below. And the book I chose from her list of favorites from 2021 was The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've been seeing a lot of hype for this book, but I wasn't sure it was going to be something that I would enjoy. It is a YA mystery, but I wouldn't say that it's a YA thriller. I am over 100 pages in at this point. I'm about a third of the way in. And the premise of this book is that this girl basically gets this inheritance from a guy she doesn't know, and the only stipulation is that she has to live at this house with his grandsons for a year. It reminds me a lot of the beginning premise of The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware, which I only compare it to because I read that very recently. I think this story goes very differently than what happened there. I did think though that this one was supposed to involve some sort of like actual game, like competition, and so far it doesn't. Basically they're just thinking that in the will, like the letters that the grandfather left everybody, that there's some sort of like riddle to it, so maybe that's the game, I guess. I don't know. It is a very fast read so far and I am enjoying it. So far so good. I will probably report back in once I'm like 2/3 of the way through. Okay, the 2/3 update. I am really enjoying this book. I think especially for a YA mystery, it is doing very well. Like, I think that people in the young adult age range would really love this. Not that I'm not. This is giving me like the over dramatic vibes of like Pretty Little Liars, the show, not the books. Like, just everything is so like kind of ominous and, like I said, overly dramatic, but it's like a good time and you want to know what's happening. I obviously want to know why our main character Avery like got this inheritance for some guy she apparently didn't know, and it is like a riddle form. Like, they're basically trying to figure out these notes that this guy left when he died, but there's also like this weird mystery around a girl who died that was very involved with this family. So there's just a lot going on at this point. I don't know how it's going to end. I would hope and assume that we're gonna figure out like why she is who inherited this, or why he chose her to give all of this money to. But I do know this is a series, so if we don't find out that information in this book, I'm gonna be a little bit irritated. I think the helicopter might be going over my house. Of course. But it should be gone shortly, and it's time for me to give my final thoughts on The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So I did end up giving it 4 stars, and I think it's a really good recommendation from Nessa. I do think that like the YA mystery genre works better for me than YA thrillers. I just think it's a little bit more convincing. But I had mentioned before that I wasn't sure if the ending was going to be satisfying, knowing that this was a series. And I would say, well, it does conclude. My rating probably would have been lower if there wasn't a sequel. Like, I would have been less satisfied if I didn't know that if I choose to, that there's more information for me to find out. So this is something also I can see depending on how the second book is. My thoughts of this first book changing, you know, higher or lower depending on kind of what that second book even is. I haven't read a synopsis for the second book, but I do plan on reading it. So final thoughts, it was nothing like groundbreaking for me. I had a good time, and I definitely see why so many people love this one. But now I do know whose book I'm going to be reading next. Like I said, I'm just reading these based on what's available to me first, not based on, I'm not like sorting genres or sorting people at all, but I'm going to be reading a pick from Stasia's favorites list this year. And I'm anxious to do this one because it's going to be Survive the Night by Riley Sager. And I am like a Riley Sager super fan. I love his stuff, but I'm very skeptical of this one, and I've honestly been putting it off because so many people have had negative things to say about this one. And so Stasia is one of the only people I have seen actually like rave about this. So I'm hoping that I lean with her, but I really in my heart feel like I'm not gonna like this one. So I'm nervous. I haven't started it yet. I'm gonna do it tonight, and I will let you know how I'm feeling once I get a little bit into that one. All I know basically is our main character gets in like a rideshare situation, but people on her campus have been getting murdered or going missing, I think have been getting murdered. And so as she's in this rideshare and this guy is giving her a ride, I think she starts to suspect that he might be the killer. But I also think that this book might use the mental health trope, which is not going to work for me. Okay. I probably should have updated on this book sooner, but there's not actually much to say about it. I am like just over halfway now. And there's not much to say about it besides like the plot that I already described, that I knew that this was about. Essentially, she is stuck in this car and this guy is supposed to be giving her a ride home, like rideshare situation, and as they're in the car, she's getting suspicious that he probably was the campus killer and is a murderer. And you just keep seeing like situations where she's trying to get help or like doesn't know how to get help, or like you can tell she doesn't want to be in the car with him. She wants to get away, but she's not sure how. Like she's kind of stuck in the car with him. But then her as a character, I don't really like, which I'm assuming is why most people have not liked this book. She is kind of presented as an unreliable narrator because she seems to have like hallucinations that she calls movies. So she questions if some stuff that is happening is real or not. But other than that, there's not that much to say about this book. I think with any thriller, the ending is either gonna make or break this. But really it is the concept of like there's two scenarios. He either is the killer or is not. So there's not much that really can, like there's only those two situations. So I don't know. Okay, it's a few hours later and I have finished Survive the Night by Riley Sager. And I'm really sad to report that I really didn't end up liking this much at all. I am going to give it 2 stars. I don't think it was like inherently bad, and I can see what there is to like about it. I overall just ended up feeling like it was really slow. And then at the end, it was kind of just a mess. Like he tried to do the like multiple twist thing and it just made it seem so messy to me. I don't know, like it didn't work in my mind. It wasn't believable. It wasn't well thought out. I don't know. I just ended up really not liking it. I don't blame Stasia for this at all because I knew going into this that I probably wasn't going to like it, and she definitely had other things on her list that I probably would have enjoyed more, but this was like something I actually like really wanted to read even though I knew I probably wasn't going to like it. And this is hard for me because giving it 2 stars, I usually don't keep anything on my shelves that I give 2 stars, but I have all of his books. So I know for sure I'm gonna let my stepmom read this one. She still wants to read it. So by the time she reads it and gives it back to me, we'll see what I decide, whether it's gonna stay on my shelves or not. But for now, we're done with this. I do just want to say, and it seems weird to say out loud, today is December, what is the date? December 18th. And we have chosen not to tell anybody, but this video won't be out till after, but we know that tomorrow night I'm getting induced. So the next time you see me, I will no longer be pregnant, I will have my baby, and I will be reading 1 more book for this vlog. So hopefully that will go well. Hopefully, you know, I can finish that 1 more book before I plan on getting this video out. I'm hopeful that things will go well. So I will see you when I finally start that next book. Hi, I'm a mom now. I'm hoping the sound quality is okay. She is sleeping just in the other room, and I do have the sound machine on, so if you can hear that, my apologies. It's a fake washing machine, not a real one. But I'm back in this vlog because I have started The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and this I am reading for Melody's pick from Strawberry Lemon. This is the first like adult fantasy, like fantasy in general, that I've read in quite a while. So it's a little bit intimidating, and it's pretty long. On Scribd, it's like 624 pages, I think. And I think right now I'm at like 90 pages in. And I'm really enjoying it so far. Basically, our main character, I didn't read a synopsis of this at all before going into it, so this is just what I've learned so far. Basically, our main character was studying really hard for this test to get into an academy that like nobody in her area of this world thought she could get into. Like even with the studying, it's just like these poor people don't make it to this academy, but she basically ends up making it, and she gets there and she's getting like kind of hazed quite a bit. I'm not sure where the story's going beyond that, but basically she's a badass and she's proving people wrong so far. So I'm reading this on my phone, just getting to it when I can. Sometimes that's 2 a.m. and that's fine. But I am feeling really good. I feel more and more like myself every day. I had an okay birth experience. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime. This isn't the video for that. I'm feeling good, baby's healthy, and we're reading good books again. So I'll check in when I make more progress. Like I said, this is like a super long book, so I don't think I'll update every 100 pages, but once I feel like enough has happened to say anything else, I'll come back to you. I just got past the 300 page mark, so I'm pretty close to halfway, and this isn't exactly what I thought it would be. Firstly, the timeline is going way faster than I anticipated. Like it's spanning a lot more time than I always assume that books are going to be. Like I always assume that it's going to be more like day to day, and this definitely, like we're like 3 years into this story, and our main character Rin is basically just proven that she is like the most determined person to like learn and get what she wants. But the first like section was about her going to this school, but now we did transfer into like a part 2 where it appears they're going like into war. This is making me feel a little bit like I'm not smart enough, like I'm struggling to follow it a little bit, but I'm understanding enough that the storyline is making sense, I guess. This is definitely a book that I think upon reread you would gain more each time you read it. But overall, I'm enjoying it. No idea where the story's going. This is definitely the longest book I've read in a while, if I didn't mention that already. But yes, we have just been cuddling. I guess I don't think I've shown her in this video yet, but we've just been cuddling, and I'm reading this on my phone. So overall, it's a good time. I am hoping to finish this by the end of the year. It is the 30th today, so I have today and tomorrow to finish this. I should be able to. I'm getting really close to the end of The Poppy War, so I'm going to talk to you again very soon. I have like maybe 75 pages left, but I just wanted to pop in to say that this has like no romance in it whatsoever, but I would call this like a loyalty triangle, like not a love triangle, but a loyalty triangle. And it feels very similar to that like whole concept of like she's trying to choose between these two people. Okay. It's time for my concluding thoughts on The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And unfortunately, I did end up giving this book 2 stars, which sucks for a book that was that long. But I also am acknowledging that I definitely think this is a not for me situation, and I understand why people like this so much, and for instance why Melody liked this so much. For me, I just don't want to have to be that smart or pay like that much attention to a story while I'm reading it. Like that's not escapism for me. And this book immediately feels like I would have to reread it to enjoy it. Like I just did not catch enough, and that has nothing to do with like my focus. I was focused on reading it. I don't think in any other situation that I would have enjoyed it more. I think no matter what, I would have had this same feeling that there was just too much going on and I couldn't follow it. And there were definitely parts of this book that I enjoyed more than others. I really enjoyed the beginning part where she was kind of like training, and then we quickly moved into more like wartime, which I just couldn't find myself caring about. I don't like to read about war, and that's what the whole like second half of this book ended up being. So all in all, I didn't like have the worst time. And I also think I had a huge disconnect with the characters because of the third person writing style and how fast time was moving. Like it just felt like you weren't getting, I wasn't getting enough. I did not feel any attachment to any character, and it was hard to differentiate between a lot of the side characters. So all in all, I just ended up not enjoying it. And to me, to feel like I would have to reread this book to even continue on the second book, I just don't feel like I can give it more than that 2 stars. So I hope that you are enjoying this series for the second time, reading my friends' favorite books of the year. There is going to be a second vlog. In this one, I read Nessa's, Stasia's, and Melody's. I have 4 more to go that will be in a second vlog, so I hope that you will come back to watch that one as well. So far, Nessa's book, The Inheritance Games, is probably my favorite from the list, but like I said, I did purposely pick one that I didn't think I was going to like from Stasia's list, and I think there's other stuff on her list that would have been like higher rated for me, but I wanted to read the Riley Sager. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!